Woo! Okay. All right. We made it.
Ты что, получилось полетать куда-то или нет?
I know it's scroll wheel for spectator, but I should be good.
Ah, oh, hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
It's fine. I'm destroyed.
All good, man. Thanks for everything. All right. Delay is set. He just blew himself up. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, this is old medical. Holy crap. I haven't seen this in forever. Configure add-ons, clients, medical. Oh, does that mean there's stitches? That means there might be wound reopening, which means I might be in trouble and eventually bleed out. Whatever. Ah, well, there we go. Shouldn't have run that multiple times. It is a vanilla interface. Okay. Whew. All right. So, guys, here is the deal. This is the third mission of the 2-day event between Solitude Games and Weekly Operated Game. Oh my gosh, WOG. I always screw up their little call sign there, but all right. Today, let me make sure I'm on direct communique. Little bit of desync on the server already. That's not a good sign. Well, in the meantime, let's go ahead and look at... Let the server recover real quick, but I'll explain the mission, guys. So, it is 2 factions. Blue 4 is going to be... Let me go ahead and look. Looks like they are the German forces that are attacking the AO. They are Solitude Gaming's forces, and then the Polish forces are WOG. They are defending for the first scenario here. So you already have them starting to set up everywhere. They're in their warm-up phase, ready to go. I think server just paused for that little bit of desync there, but that is fine. That's all just to get me in the spectator interface here. As you can see, we've got some pretty fancy armor pieces here. Something might have just fired or exploded. But otherwise, this appears to be the AO they're defending. They're utilizing the global mobilization assets over here. Interesting. In order to make this little Polish base. I believe it is for control of that sector for the first round here. So you already have Blue 4 trying to encroach in on this AO. Blue 4 have Pumas as well as Leopard tanks and a lot of armed... oh my gosh, they have the little... oh, what are they called? The little tankettes. I forget the exact name of them, but I also have the Fouché APCs with the MG3s in front. They got a medical one as well, but there is quite a bit here to work with. They also have the ones with the auto cannons and whatnot. Oh, God. So it looks like they just froze and unfroze the server to fix that desync, which is why you just saw that thing teleport. Let's go ahead and look over all of our assets, though. I'd be a little quicker with this because of the vanilla interface. So we've got a Puma on the field. We have, I forget what the German car with the Crow system gun is on top. We got one of these on the field as well. We have another Puma in play, another Puma over here. I think it's called a Leopard. There's one of the medical Fooshes. We have a transport APC Foosh on the field. Another one down there. One right here. There's the little tank cat. Again, I'm blanking on the name. I think it's a Lynx. It's either... I think it's a Lynx. I don't know. Could be wrong there. You got two guys dismounted right here. Looks like they have another Lynx up here. They've put a little tank camo net on it. Looks like it's the AT one. Otherwise, another medical vehicle there. Another transport Foosh. Another transport Foosh right there. A lot of APCs here. Another little tankette. I love those things so much. So they've got multiple tankette teams with all that. And then we've got a squad out and about right here. So command team, they've got a GMG Humvee in play right here. We got an infantry squad out and about already. Looking at, we got another M2 Humvee right here. That's pretty awesome to see. Another infantry squad. They've got another M2 Humvee with them. This group has, looks like it's not a PKM Humvee. It's the UZ something. It's the Polish equivalent of the PKM. Chambered in 7.62 by 51 NATO. Got another AGS Humvee in the field here. We've got an M2 50 cal Humvee there. Another UZM Humvee with that group. Looks like everyone is in that Humvee transporting. This group, meanwhile, I think they have another Humvee to work with here. And then we've got a dead guy. A truck exploded, probably through the desync. That's unfortunate. We've got another AGS Humvee out here. And then you got this group. They've got one of the vanilla... I forget the exact name of this asset, but that is out on the field as well. I think there's only 2 or 3 of those in the field. And then they also have... I'm not sure if they have 1 or 2 of their own leopards on the field. I forget the exact image, but like I said, there's a lot of vehicle combat expected here. This is another 220-player event. Servers taking it a little worse than last week, but that was on a different server. I think it was WOG server, now it's Solitude server, so it's understandable. You know, just gotta open up the door, feed the Russian in there, make sure he's A-okay. But we are also going to be on a 20-minute delay today, guys. So in terms of the prediction, I'm going to put the prediction up when the stream officially goes live for 20 minutes. I'm just trying to make sure nothing crazy happens. But if I need to put it to 15 minutes because combat already starts, I will. I will just manage that where I can. But you have some Blue 4 guys reconning the central route. I think, again, the overall objective is to get that area in Krzynias, or I probably butchered the name of that too. I'm not really good on German names, but Op4 WOG has already done a really good job of countering everywhere where they think Blue 4 is going to come in. However, I think there's going to be a bit of a weakness here as Blue 4 focuses on pushing pretty much up the main forest area. The map is Cham, by the way. A lot of Op4 focused on the southern defensive side, whereas Blue 4, I think, is just going to be taking a much more direct route, crossing the border here and already going in. We do have a northern border push here by 4 reconnaissance forces. That's going to be countered by Op4 with double that, 8, and then they've got an APC/IFE nearby. Blue 4 dismounting, taking this town up here as well. Looks like the server's actually stabilizing pretty well. I'd say, honestly, a healthy amount of desync for, 220 players. I'm comparing it to, like, an FNF server. It's not that bad. Otherwise, I think this is going to be our main point of contact here. So, we'll just have to see how that goes. Drinking a bit of tea. Bloodwing made me breakfast again. Life is good. Life is very good. But let's see. We got the Op4 tank on reserve. We got another IFE back here. They've got one of their Humvees in play over here. I really like the vehicle spread that WOG has been doing, but I mean, when you look at the sheer amount of Blue 4's vehicles, they've got, their Crow system cars, they've got Puma, APC/IFEs. By the way, APC armor personnel carrier means it carries troops in it. IFE, infantry fighting vehicle, it means it has an autocannon, something that'll shred infantry pretty quickly. And yes, I think it all has HE rounds today. It's it's one of those. And then we got our little tank heads. I love that they added that on the German side. But just some massive dismounts here. We're probably going to see a big point of fighting over here. Definitely the biggest amount of fighting is going to be in this forested area. Op4 is eventually going to have to move forces off of its southern line to reinforce the AO itself, because there's a lot of dudes coming in on this area, and another flank's going to be opened as these guys come in from the northern side. So It's a little worrying, but remembering the last two missions, the winner was WOG on both rounds because they were able to really capitalize on taking out enemy vehicles throughout the fighting. So through that, they were able to eventually, I mean, in the first mission, they were able to completely dominate after they took out the numbers on the vehicle side and then just use their vehicles to bulldoze the remaining infantry. The second mission was a little closer. Both sides doing a great job utilizing their ATGMs and long-range supports. Drones to take out. It was Solitude's BTR-80 Alphas were taken out really well by drones, by ATGM use. Even one dude trying to track down for a BTR-80 Alpha for like 30 minutes and finally got an AT4 in it. But it was all those moves that nullified the massive amount of autocannons that Solitude had as the attacking faction. And WOG was able to win it like in like a turn of the tide style scenario and actually win with a pretty decent number advantage, at least having 24 players or so around by the end. So it's crazy how all of these things add up, but it's very important for these types of scenarios, in all honesty. So I'm going to be honest, looking at this AO, though, looking at the vehicle advantage that Blue 4 has, I would compare it like what I saw in the second round of last week, where I think one side has way too many vehicle assets, but we saw them countered quite well. This one, I think it's the same thing. I think Op4 and Blue 4, there is definitely a vehicle imbalance here, but I think Op4 has the ability to turn that around, because Op4 has a lot more light attack vehicles like AGS Humvees. And I think those are going to really turn it around if they are put in proper positions and if Blue 4 groups up on their attack waves. I think a proper use of a GMG is going to be absolutely deadly on what we see here. So we have some scout forces out in the AO already. These guys, I think, are just simply sentries that are going to relay back the command to see where hostiles are coming from. But right here, there's our first blood. Ovid dropping and eliminating someone on that side. This is the vanilla spectator interface, so it's going to be different. Grenades are being thrown. These are reconnaissance forces with suppressed weapons on the German side. Great eyes. Oh, I think he just died to grenades. Never mind. He was going to give him praise, but now his name's gone. I don't know where he went. That was, it wasn't him, because he died early. I don't know. He disappeared. Let's see. We're at the 12-minute mark. I'll probably write a 15-minute prediction. But already we're having some nice early reconnaissance battles. And I am going to now write on my sticky note, just prepping it for highlights. I have a really good system for the PvP channel now because everything's caught up. I will get the footage edited within 1 or 2 days, and then on the YouTube channel, and then when I feel like it, I'll front log it, you know? When I need to do something for a few hours because my computer is busy with something else. Like footage processing or whatnot. Alright, I need to locally mute myself. That was a great drop by Dave here. Yeah, okay, so it's P for projectiles. Ha! So this is a modified vanilla interface. The issue is we're in a Russian community. It's in Russian. I can't read Russian. So, well, can I toggle that off? It doesn't look like it. That's okay. App data is the platform menu. I don't have an app data key, though. Or app menu key. That's weird. O is for icons. Yeah, I knew that one. Height, faster, slower, vision modes, map. That's for the vanilla interface. Well, I was going to go ahead locally mute myself. Because I think the dead people, we can hear them locally. Because we can't use Ilbanex plugin on this stuff because they're using the older version of TFAR, not TFAR beta. Yeah, I was hoping like I'd get the normal thing that pops up there, but that is okay. I think that is everything I need to know. Otherwise, I want to make sure projectiles are up, though, because everyone loves watching projectiles going. All right, we've officially hit the 15-minute mark. If nothing, I know there's going to be combat here over the next 15 minutes. We'll see these forces move around. I think I am going to run a 20-minute betting time. It is looking like it is in Blue Force favor, though, because we do have, just look at the sheer amount of forces coming in. We do have Op Force about to potentially counter some of these Blue 4 guys coming in here, though. Noah's just under a berm right there. But yeah, Op4 could potentially do a massive counterattack and immediately reinforce the central AO that they need to defend because, I mean, at this point, they're going to freaking need it. I think Op4 is going to realize how many contacts are in this forest moving up. They're going to realize how many are moving up down here. You're going to see a lot of stuff pull around. You'll see the tank get in a position to overwatch this town. And honestly, the tank has a lot of good firing angles from the rear to potentially engage enemy infantry as they cross into the open. Same with any IFV placement. Since they have this hill back here, they could easily lock this AO down and force German Solitude Gaming to push up their vehicle support onto the exposed MSRs and potentially get taken out as long as those areas are being locked down. So you have a Blue Force spec team here. I call them a spec team because of the fact they have suppressors. We just heard that one suppressed shot. Could have been from any type of weapon recently because that was the vanilla sound. Looks like they have the Reconnaissance 7.62 by 51 NATO rifles there. At least that's what they're chambered in. Oh, man. 20-minute delay today, you know, that's insane. But hey, it's the price for a community fight like this, man. Totally worth it. Wow, you heard the loud shot over here. Was that Ziki just counter bitch slapping him with that? I wouldn't be surprised with his ACOG. We got some really heavy hitters over here. But yeah, they already killed another guy too. So I think that spec out team is going to be denied, but that's going to keep, you know, 8 people pinned on the edge of the map, whereas the main fight over here is where it's really, really important. All right, I know for a fact this fighting's about to get really heavy, so I'm going to put my prediction up now for 20 minutes. Blue 4... Yeah. All right, that should be good. Actually, let me dismiss that real quick. I'm not sure if I... Let me try that again. Yeah, because I didn't set it for 20 minutes. I set it for 30 seconds. God, I'm a goober. Okay. There we go. All right. Now to focus on the rest of the AO here. Still, you got Blue 4 guys pressing forward here. They're trying to engage what they can. Still have a few Polish scouts here staying low. They know they're probably getting surrounded at this point. Oh, you got guys getting really close to each other here, though. Fighting scout troops. I'm hearing shooting in the distance. I'm not seeing any flashing symbols, though, to indicate where that's coming from. However, these cars might be immediately engaged from defenders to the south, but... Oh, man. If you are one of these Op4 guys up here, though, you are probably shitting bricks, though. Because you are alone up here. No support. Your best bet is to take out who you can. But if you do not have a suppressor on your gun, you need to keep moving because you are in the middle of a hornet's nest. I just heard an explosion somewhere around the AO. That could have been a grenade or something else. But Cat is now taking fire from his left. He's immediately trying to pull away. Returns a grenade. Doesn't go down far enough, though. Another grenade going around on the right side. He manages to find an angle where you can get out of here, though. as he's got German forces immediately to his right. Look at how close they get without seeing each other. Oh, Cat turns right, takes him out immediately. Lucas, though, comes around, but also Cat takes fire from Anarchy and goes down. Again, these scouts are just out here to interdict what they can find in Blue 4 here, but my god, it's just a suicide mission with the amount of dudes that are out there. Holy crap, stream is now live. Excellent. Gonna have a sip of tea here. I mean, yeah, this could still go either way. The amount of Blue 4 forces have right here, it's definitely, I want to say, 75, no. At least 85% of their forces all right here pushing in. They've got a little picket group to the south. They had that 4-man recon team, now down to 3. It was 2 at one point, but they brought one guy back. Compared to the Polish defenders on WOG here, they have only about 30 to 50% of their force committed to where they actually need it. There's going to be a lot of forces pushing back. We have a wounded guy in the forest over here. What happened there? I guess the Bush won. Oh, man. But look at this, the sheer amount of the German force over here. Again, Germans are Solitude Gaming, but... Or Solitude Games, my bad. I keep calling them gaming. But I would right now like to give a shout out to both Solitude and WOG for letting me cover their awesome 220 player match, because my freaking god, watching 220 players do a one life scenario is probably the craziest PvP I've ever seen, because they have full on tanks, APCs, IFVs, autocannons, GMGs, you name it, and it just gets messy. But look at that. That all doesn't matter if you only give one shot like that. Also, we have a custom mod set for the group, so it looks like they give a wounded animation like that before they go into the ace animation. Had to download a new custom mod set from Solitude for this one. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, man. So he is down. We got another Dog Ghost is going to be in the middle of a lot of dudes up there. I'm curious what they're suppressing. Oh, he's already running away, unfortunately. His tracer fire was coming up to, I believe, this ridgeline. He might have been shooting at the Humvee, which is why it's pulling back so quickly. But there we go. The AGS is firing. These are the assets I want to keep watch of. Nakey Man over here is going to be covering, but that is going to be the scariest thing that Solitude fights are those freaking GMGs and the autocannons. Because those AGSs, it's easier, in my opinion, to track down an IFV compared to an AGS, which is quieter. But look at that fire. It is hurting them. So they're going prone. They're trying to evade it. But if Blue 4 tries to prematurely charge one of these open areas, or if they go through one of these narrow areas and group up, that AGS is going to shred the shit out of them. And they get a lot of ammo in those vehicles, too. So they can be very, very liberal with their fire. Very frivolous, if I might say so myself. Got more fighting over here on the side. You're hearing GL rounds go in. Oh, that sounds awesome. They've got some sound mods in their pack, too. I can't identify what. It might be JSRS or something else, but it sounds good. It sounds excellent. All right. I'm wondering at what point is Op4 going to commit all their forces into secondary defense line, because now you got Blue 4 starting to bring their support vehicles up. You got the Puma locking down this area. Not going to have any sight lines yet, but if Blue 4 is allowed to deploy and develop their vehicles first before Op4 can get their forces in defensive positions, this fight is going to be a quick one. This is meant to be a 2-hour match. They had a 30-minute safe start, which I admit they were waiting on me. That was my bad. I set the mods to download last night from Arma 3 Sync. Oh! Throw a grenade, get a grenade by Farah up there, but that grenade double taps this one guy. Ooh. And then Cookie throws another grenade just to be safe, but I had about 43 gigs to download over some mods, and my computer decided after the 6th gig to break itself, so I had to scramble to download over the past few hours. But I'm very happy they waited for me. And now we can enjoy this fight. But look at this. That Humvee just realized it's taking autocannon fire from one of the two Pumas. And now that Blue 4 has been allowed to lock their stuff down. They're weasels. Thank you, RGA. There's 3 Pumas right here, and that's just going to... And they have the tank on standby to pull out in case a heavy asset shows up. That's smart, because that leaves the more, you know, plentiful assets to take out infantry and what they can here. But I'm really worried about Op4 now. You see them maneuvering forces back. It's not enough, though. They still have so much stuff on the southern line. I'm worried this is going to turn into a scenario where Blue 4 gets right on top of the objective. Op4 starts turning their forces around. But as Op4 does all that, Blue 4's already entrenched and will immediately start shelling with things like Pumas here. Now, here's the deal. For someone to be declared a victor here, since WOG won the 2 rounds last week, if they win 1 more round, they're declared the victor for this one. If Solitude wins both rounds, both sides tie, similar to how FNF and OFCRA went. OFCRA won their home match, FNF won their home match, so that was a tie. But let's see, that was one of the weasels getting hit by AT. I'm going to assume it was Blade based off of the trajectory. Oh, that is artillery. Blade might have just gotten, taken some stray shrapnel from an artillery shell there. I was not aware that there were any artillery assets here. We have that medevac, Vic. You see the smoke coming up from over yonder. I'm not sure if that was artillery or a tank shell, to be perfectly honest. But it sounded like artillery. And you hear that Humvee continuing to cook. Excuse me, the Weasel continuing to cook. Look at all the Hunt IR usage, though. Op4, yeah, they only got 5 people up on this line. They're fighting the unit at least 6 times their size. That's a good 20 to 30 guys. More autocannon fire hitting this garrison, though. Op4 is misidentifying where they're being engaged from, thinking Blue 4 is a lot closer and expending ammo early on. That's just going to give away their positions as Blue 4 from other areas move in. And yes, once again, this is it's a 20-minute delay today. That's just how Solitude does stuff compared to WOG. And it's something I will gladly respect because, A, you don't want stream sniping to happen, and B, this is a 220-player event. I'm going to do literally anything to cover it. So Kiln taking some crossfire here as GMGs rain from above him. Those are actually hitting your archer's position. But look at that power. This is what I'm talking about here on why the AGSs are so effective. Granted, it's firing into its own guys, but hey, you know, we can pray. Is there a way to join the PvP event? You have to be a member of Solitude or WOG. Solitude Games or WOG specifically. And you have to speak Russian, because this is one of the Russian events. These are the 200 to 300 player server events that we've only heard in rumor. Great shot there by the YKZ guys there, but we might have some Op4 guys come around on the back here. But these are those events that might have only been fairy tales, only in rumor, and we finally got to find and cover one invited from WOG to do this. So I'm glad to show that these aren't just fairy tales, but it is quite possible to have this many people on a server doing PvP, man. This is like a war game wet dream. Like, this is what you'd want militaries to spar over, man. This is how they train in a quote-unquote live combat fire exercise. Not gonna lie, I would love to do something like this at least once every 2 weeks. Hell, I'd do it once a week. I just need to find a bigger audience for this, but holy crap, this is the good stuff. Oh, here we go. All right, so one of the Op4 vehicles has finally come around. That is, I forget the name of that one. I'm going to call it a Marshal, but I think it has another name. Have some heavy fire coming out over here. You just had an AT launch over here, probably by one of the Blue 4 elements over here, because that sounded like a German launch sound. So that's going to pull back, but it was able to make one of the Pumas pull back over here. However, it's already getting back into position, firing and maneuvering, probably coordinating with that tank over there to potentially pull that out and snipe it if need be. But look at that, just on the edge of the render distance here, and they are engaging each other, probably with thermal optics. Oh my god, look at that fire. Both are being evasive here, trying to dodge each other as they put rounds into each other, but that Puma is definitely going a lot quicker as the Marshal here just backs off. Looks like neither vehicle suffered any casualties there, but definitely a close call. You gotta love what this team did with the Puma. Just started circling and bombarding with rounds, staying evasive. I just heard another launcher sound. I have no idea where that's gonna go, though. I'm up here looking for it. I hope it wasn't a blue on blue. That would be very unfortunate. But I want to look at the map here. Interesting. So some Blue 4 guys managed to get over here. I don't know what they're doing right here. This could be Blue 4's own version of a suicidal picket to stop any Op 4 from coming in, but you already see Op 4 turning forces around. You see the tank getting into position. You got more IFVs being deployed around the AO. You got this force right here on the southern side, but it could potentially be cut off because Blue 4 is trying to get right here to then cross. And they've got some great forces out here on Overwatch ready to cover that opening if they need to. And then that force also coming around. You got this Humvee right here. But yeah, most of the team that belongs to that Humvee is probably dead as they fought a massive group of forces coming in here. But looking at the skull count, you've got, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 skulls on Blue 4 right now. We just heard some sort of guided AT fire. It looked like it was launching in this direction. Might have been a miss. Or that could have been a Weasel firing its AT. Pumas also have AT, though, so it could have been that, too. But looking at Op 4's side, Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 27, so 21 to 27 deaths right now. Of course, that's probably just changed because of the amount of autocannon fire going back and forth, but so far, Solitude has a slight number advantage. I would say they definitely have a positioning advantage too, unless some of these guys in the back line get lucky, as I say. All right, well, I just caster cursed Marshall right there, saying that they get lucky on the back line, but you know what I mean. Hopefully they'll be okay. Hopefully. But Marlboro Reed, thanks for the 16-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Oh, man. Curious to see what the poll is right now. 15.3 to 7.2. Not the biggest numbers, but that's also because we have a massive delay, and these are communities that you guys don't really know. And I hope that it changes over time, because the fighting here is getting very intense. But this is the objective right here. When you have this much Blue 4, I guess this many attackers right on the defender's doorstep, and you only have this many defenders here. And I can understand why they didn't garrison these areas heavily, because of those autocannons that would tear these buildings apart and tear any garrison forces apart. But at this point, Op 4 are desperately trying to pull their forces back from other lines to get right here, but it's just way too much. Oh, as I went over to Marshall, he died. By the way, the second round is going to be Israelis versus another faction, and it will have plain PvP. I've already seen the unit list. I'm really excited for that one, because the last time we saw plain PvP was OFCRA versus BIA. And they were only limited to guns. I'm really curious to see what the pylons are for the planes here, because they also have a lot of AA here. Oh, the translation says I committed suicide? That's cute. All right, well, C'est la vie. All right, that IFE on the northern side finally kicked the bucket here. No, that was one of their tanks. Oh, shit. So that tank tried to reposition itself on the northern side. It got engaged by potentially an AGM. With Op4 losing their tank, though, only one survivor of the crew over here. That is not good. That means Op4 is going to be losing a lot of their vehicle coverage here. We do have, again, they're doing a great job with their infantry and the IFEs where they can, but Blue 4, I mean, they've got a full platoon of Pumas. They've got a tank in the back line, which is now deployed and overwatching, but has taken a hit. So it is going to be detracked, but looks like the gun is still active. But still, that's a really good position for that tank to be in because it can lock down this entire area here until another ATGM hits it. But the Pumas in front are going to be covering it. The Weasels as well with the autocannons. And then they got some Fushes back here for support on the guns in case they need to pull up and, I guess, block missiles. Oh, man. But yeah, Blue 4 now completely has that northern little peninsula, I'm going to call it, of forested area here. And that's just going to help stop any Op4 from coming in. Also, I'd say servers completely stabilized at this point as, you know, the first rains of casualties have come in. Oh, we got IFEs for Op4 pulling back. It's not looking good for WOG for this round. Blue 4, they've gotten in one of the Humvees here. They're just chilling inside for the moment, checking it out. Wouldn't blame them, but hey, if you take their vehicles, that means they're going to only have to be able to pull back on foot, which is going to slow them down. I do love, though, that there is the medical foosh back here. People are dying way too quickly to receive medevac, unfortunately. My God. The lighting is also changing a little bit, getting a little more gloomy. I love it. Now you got the Pumas crossing in the open here, though. Literally, the objective they have to take is right here. I think this mission's going to be done in 20 to 30 minutes, to be perfectly honest. I think Blue 4 is going to be able to just stampede into here, move their forces around, encircle this AO, and then send what infantry superiority they have to take it, and that's going to be it. Just the fact that Blue 4 have their forces right here, you see them occasionally sniping players here. You hear those rounds going overhead. That's the same sound I heard earlier that I thought was a mortar, but you've got elements of AV in the 31st. They're going to push in from right here, take that. You also got some CU guys. Well, big mix of dudes, FM, WD. But with the vehicle support completely locking this angle down, I don't think that's going to be the case. Also, I think my lighting's different because my character that's spectating, his wounds reopened, and now he is slowly bleeding out. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to get back. I don't think so, though. I can't bandage. Oh, well. Because I think this is me just losing blood, and that's bleeding into my spectator interface. That's fine. Doom and gloom. It's the first time I've done something like this. You know, we work everything out where we can. But look at this massive amount of Blue 4 that's going to come in here on the northern side. There's already a squad being deployed. Look at that, though. You've got people... oh, he's got AT. He's trying to hunt down that IFE. Similar to what we saw last week, one of the WOG guys do. This is modded. Once again, it's with a custom set of mods that I had to download. So, you know, last week's was WOG's, this week's is Solitude games. OpFor, again, doing their best to hold this line. That's funny that my character's ace healing thing has come in here and is it's causing it all to get all doom and gloom. And again, I don't think there's any way for me to get back to that character. I forget where I am. Listed as a green 4 unit, but I'm not on the interface. Oh, that's funny. Alright, a lot of GL fire coming in right here. Blue 4 quickly trying to pull back from it. Again, you'll see elements of OpFor trying to counter where they can, but just the sheer amount of Blue 4 around, that's going to make this incredibly tough. And we got a lot of OpFor coming in on this side. Oh, yeah, that's going to be an issue. 1 second. There's someone I can poke. I figured that might be coming. I had a feeling this might happen. All right, I can only watch. At least I'm on top of the AO here, so I can still cover things.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Maybe there's another desync spike though. Oh, I can still scroll back and forth. All right, I can make this work. I can make this work. It's from my all-seen spectator eye. Oh my god. And I think the server was getting slightly desyncy, so they paused it as well, but this is funny. I'm sure someone in 20 minutes will tell me what that means. 2 minutes something something something. All right. It's Liru's all-seeing eye. So the reason it happened was the admin that was with me threw a grenade to kill himself, and I was just told to use the scroll wheel option to spectate. So I guess I should have just killed myself, but I was told to use the scroll wheel option, so I'm like, all right, cool, but he gave me a wound and I had no way to heal it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll die. I could try respawning. Yeah, I don't think that worked. Okay, well, also it's because the server has its entire sim disabled, so that could be it. But it's Liru's all-seeing eye. See, because it's kind of is shaped like an eye here. Spectator interface 2.0. Doom and gloom. I can't open the map, though. So we just have to guess what's going on as I scroll around. Challenges are given every week to Liru to master a new spectating interface. All right, well, we have a lot of blue people down there, a lot down there, not a lot over there. OpFor only has a handful right here as the first wave of OpFor. All right, sorry, just poking him back because he's saying right now it's lag and freeze time because of that, which I get. But I mean, this is hilarious because they're gonna watch this back. He says they'll fix it when they unfreeze the server, which you'd expect something like this to happen quite a bit because again, 220 players on a damn server. It's a lot. But again, no. All right, 1 second. I need to throw my stock image up. This happened last time as well. Oh, yeah, you saw the blood on... Okay, no, I put my interface up beforehand. The server might have just completely crashed, unfortunately. Yeah, no, it's... Oh, man, that is unfortunate. No! BRB 1 second. I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
It was going so well.
That's a shame. 1 second. All right. So I just spoke the admin telling them to tell me when to reconnect, but that is a shame. Oh, man. Unconscious spectator. You know, Liru died in the server crash. Coincidence? I think not. I think not. Well, this time I'm going to blow myself up. And then we'll get into it. Oh, but you know what I want to play later today? More Darktide. And I want to see if I can find the damn horror mission. Because well, first thing I got to do is complete one more mission for one of my characters so I can get my weeklies done. Get those benefits so I can start, I mean, what, in less than 6 hours, actually, the weeklies refresh. So I want to get those done and then get my third character up and running. Get her to 11 so I can start grinding on her as well. That sounds wrong. Anyway. Ah, man. We're in a hold.